mic on the other side.
Media.
More humble.
The story of Grimities is generally well known in Fiji and the world. I vividly remember in my province in Madhuwata, growing up peacefully with descendants of the Grimities that have now called Madhuwata, who now live in Fiji, their home. While the broad history is well known, there are many aspects of the history and the lives of the Grimities which we are not aware of. It has been quite sad, rather unfortunate for all of us, that our primary and secondary school curriculum does not give due emphasis on our own history. There is an urgent need to review our primary and secondary schools curriculum to include all matters of significance for Fiji. Girmit is one such vastly significant event for all of us, and it will remain so well into the future of Fiji. The presence of Grimities in Fiji raised hard questions for all communities, mainly on the Indian presence in Fiji and their rightful place in Fijian society. I am pleased to say that the wealth of diversity and inclusivity in Fiji was to continue to be learned through the Grimities' presence here. Today, I wish to talk a bit on the importance of cultural diversity and inclusivity in Fiji, as we commemorate the arrival of the Indian indentured laborers, and we are reminded of the rich cultural heritage that they brought with them to Fiji. Their unique culture and traditions and religions have greatly enriched our nation's cultural landscape, and it is essential to acknowledge and celebrate this diversity. However, cultural diversity should not be just recognized. It needs to be embraced and respected. Our society needs to continuously foster an environment of inclusivity where everyone, regardless of their race, ethnicity, religion, or cultural background, feels valued and appreciated. As President, my vision is to be the pillar of national unity. And in this capacity, I remind us all of our responsibility as citizens to promote diversity and cultural exchange and encourage us to reject any form of discrimination or prejudice. It is paramount that we work together to create a society that recognizes and celebrates our differences and encourages mutual understanding and respect. Only then we can fully appreciate the beauty of our nation's cultural tapestry and realize its potential for growth and prosperity. Let us continue to embrace cultural diversity and inclusivity in Fiji, not just for today, but every day. As we celebrate the diversity of our nation, we must also recognize that our differences make us stronger. We must embrace our cultural differences and learn from each other's customs and beliefs. In doing so, we can build a more tolerant and inclusive society where everyone is valued and respected, regardless of their race, religion, and background. Furthermore, as a nation, we must ensure that cultural diversity is not only celebrated but protected. We must work together to preserve our unique traditions and heritage, ensuring that they are passed down from generation to generation. This will require collective effort from all of us, including our leaders, educators, and community members. We must also recognize the importance of language in preserving culture and ensuring that the languages of our communities are supported and promoted. By working together to protect and promote our cultural diversity, we can build a brighter future for all Fijians. Fiji has a long history of multiculturalism, and it is a source of great pride for us. We have a diverse population, with Grimities making up a significant portion of our community. This diversity has been brought about a range of benefits, including economic prosperity, cultural exchange, and social cohesion. However, we must acknowledge that our history has not always been perfect. The Indian indentured laborers faced significant challenges and injustices during their time in Fiji. It is essential to recognize and remember those challenges so that we can learn from them and work towards a more inclusive and equitable future. As a nation, we must acknowledge the pain and suffering caused by these past injustices and work towards healing and reconciliation. We must strive to create a society where everyone feels heard, understood, and respected. This requires a commitment to truth-telling, acknowledging the harm that has been done, and making amends wherever and whenever possible. It is only by confronting the difficulties and the injustices of our history we can move forward and as a more united and a just society. Moving forward, we must continue to celebrate our diversity and promote inclusivity in all levels of society. This includes our schools, workplaces, and communities. We must ensure that everyone has an equal opportunity to succeed and thrive, regardless of their background. We must actively work towards addressing any remaining inequalities and discrimination that exists within our society. This requires us to examine our own biases and prejudices and intentional efforts to challenge them. We must hold ourselves as well as each other accountable for creating a culture of inclusivity and respect, where diversity is not just tolerated but embraced and celebrated. Only then we can truly achieve our goal building a society that is truly united in our diversity. As we move forward, let us continue to uphold the values of inclusivity and cultural diversity and work together to build a brighter and more equitable future for all Fijians. At this juncture, I would be remiss for me not to acknowledge the significant role of academics. Academics play a vital role in creating and generating new knowledge from their research. We must encourage and actively support the endeavors of academics in conducting their research, in digging into the past and the present, and delving into projections in the future, all in order to make a better society for everyone on this earth. I note from your program that the good professor, the Vice Chancellor of the USP, Professor Prof, will speak on the role of the universities. I believe that it is now the right time for academics to come out clearly on their role, creating a multiracial and inclusive society here and abroad. I understand that the conference are a means through which results of years of hard research by academics are presented to their peers for critical comments and analysis. So, I welcome all researchers gathered here to present their findings. Leave no stone unturned in your deliberations. I have been reliably informed that for Fiji, this is the fourth such conference, which is organized every 2 years. This year's event is by far the largest of its kind, and I believe this is the testament of the enormity of this occasion and the significance of the Indian indentured laborers in Fiji's history as well as its future.
Today, we gather to commemorate the 144th anniversary of the arrival of the first Indian indentured laborers to Fiji. This is a momentous occasion for us to reflect on the significance of Indian indenture in shaping the course of Fiji's history and indeed human history. The story of indentured laborers is marked by both triumph and tragedy, and it is an important part of our shared history as a global community. It is also momentous because this is the first time in Fiji's history that Gurmit Day has been declared a national public holiday. I want to, on this occasion, take this opportunity to thank the Honourable Prime Minister, Mr. Sitiveni Rambuka, for initiating this idea of a national public holiday and declaring this as a day of national holiday. Ladies and gentlemen, I have often reflected on what Gurmit must have meant to my grandparents beyond what is encapsulated in the formal Hindi term Gulami. Gulami, Gurmit was about the denial of fruits of one's labor. It was the denial of their rights as workers. It was the denial of their political rights. It was the denial of their social and economic rights. It was the denial of their cultural and religious rights. In short, it was the denial of their humanity. Colonialism was built on this systematic denial of humanity. That is why independence mattered so much to all our parents. That is why the party I belong to, the National Federation Party, was so persistent in seeking Fiji's independence. For Indo-Fijians, Gurmit connects us. It is the foundation for our shared language. It is the foundation for our own interpretation of our spirituality. The sum total of our Gurmit experience is our equivalent of the Itoke sense of Banua. Gurmit is the foundation of our identity. It is a part of our history, but Gurmit is what is us today. It is part of our very being. Our songs, our qawwalis, our bhajans, our prayers, our interpretation of our scriptures, our foods are shaped by this experience. Gurmit lives us with across generations. Gurmit travels us with wherever we go as Indo-Fijians, wherever we choose to settle in distant UK, Canada, cross the ditch in Australia and New Zealand. Gurmit, as the defining feature of our identity, seamlessly traverses generations and blissfully sails the seas. Gurmit is not our cession of our otherness. Gurmit is the recognition of the hurt and pain of history. Our humanity was not harmed but enriched as a result of it. We found comfort in the suffering of gods across our faiths during our journeys.